Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling, and much appreciated you guys checking out today's video and hanging out with me a little bit. I think you're going to be glad you guys did, because I'm going to show you about the PED rig today, guys. We've talked about this a little bit, I think about a year and a half or 2 years ago. But guys, the PED rig is, in my opinion, if you want to go out and catch a ton of fish and just get lots of bites and probably get some good ones too, because I've caught fish up to 8 pounds on the PED rig. I'm going to give you guys tips and advice on how to fish it, because April is PED rig month. It's like, it is the month. It doesn't work in March hardly at all. It doesn't work in May. It's an April technique I want to share with you guys. And it is deadly. It's something I've been doing for 25 years or more, 30 years probably here in the Ozarks. So going to get into that today's video, how to rig it, how you want to fish it, areas type of deal. So we'll get into that in today's episode. Also, guys, before we get started, just a quick reminder, I'd like to just invite everybody to please consider hitting that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling. Free and easy to do so. We're really working hard to try to hit that 150,000 subscriber mark, so that's much appreciated. And also, guys, I want to show you my #1 big bass jig color for the month of April, and this is my Blaukat throwback jig here. Black and chartreuse with a blue zoom big salty chunk. Guys, this will get you a big bite. This combo, fish it in like any water visibility less than 2 foot. I'll put my Blaukat throwback jig link in the description of this video through Tackle Warehouse if you want to pick one up. But I'd recommend it 3/8 ounce or 1/2 ounce is my two favorite. Definitely big fish color right here for good fish this time of year. Okay guys, let's talk about the PED rig a little bit. What it is, it's pretty simple to do this. This is a finesse technique. So this is something that is, #1 is for cleaner water. I've caught them down into water visibility like 2.5 feet before, maybe even 2 foot, but ideally I want water visibilities of say 3 to 6 foot. That's perfect for the PED rig. So what it is, it's the old Zoom centipede. This is, I'll link this in the video, in my Tackle Warehouse link. In fact, I'll link all the components for the PED rig in my Tackle Warehouse link if you want to pick some up. But PED rig, normally the 3 colors I use are the watermelon red, green pumpkin, and the watermelon candy. So the first thing you want to do, let's get the PED rig prepared a little bit. I'm going to show you before and after. The PED rig, or the centipede from Zoom, it's got quite a bit of salt in it. So take it, and this is critical to do, because the way that we're going to rig the PED rig, it looks a lot more natural and realistic once you break the salt up. But just be careful, take your time with it, and bring all that salt to the surface. Call it roughing up. This is something that we've talked about a long time on the channel. And here's the difference between the two after you rough one up. This is the exact same bait, and you can see the color differentiation, and it just sort of makes it a little bit lighter, more natural colored here. And then after you do that, you need to get a spike it marking pin. Again, I'll have all this stuff linked in my Tackle Warehouse link. And then right on the butt of the centipede, you want to mark it just a little bit of chartreuse. Not very much, just a little bit like that to give it a little color. And sort of acts as a strike attractor. So you've got the 2 ends that have a little bit of chartreuse on them like that. And then the next thing you do, just a simple deal, is come through the flat side of it. You've got on the centipede, you've got a flat side like that, and you've got a rib side. Come right through the middle of the bait, right, just like you would a wacky rig. And you're gonna wacky rig it. This is a straight shank Gamakatsu 1/0 hook here, and that's the setup, guys. That's the PED rig. Now, this is different than a wacky rig because #1, it's a lot smaller, and this has an extremely slow fall to it. It's like, it falls twice as slow as like a soft plastic stick bait. So you're fishing a 6-pound test line, 6-pound test Seaguar Vizix, Addermine, Megabass Addermine spinning rod, and that's the setup. Guys, this is like a live worm to fish. It's like when this thing is falling through the water, the ends of this thing sort of like vibrate a little bit like that. So when it falls, it sort of falls like this a little bit. Not quite that exaggerated, but those tails like that are really moving as it goes down. And that's why you want it on a clear water environment, because the fish can see that. If it's dirty, they can't see that little vibration, and that little twitching like that makes it look like a live worm going down through there. So that's the setup with it. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about where you want to fish it at, because obviously that's as big a deal as anything. It is going to be good anywhere that you have bass in shallow water, especially when you have those bass close to spawning. The Pede rig works the best, absolutely, when that water temperature is between like 55 to 70 degrees. The favorite thing that I like to do is to skip it underneath boat docks. Skip it underneath like the walkway of boat docks, underneath the cables, anywhere around a shallow boat dock in less than 5 foot of water. This is a prime area where bass like to move up to get ready to spawn, and that's the best area for the Pede rig. Just skip that thing back up underneath those docks as you can far as you can get it. But you don't have to have docks. If you don't have docks, just go into areas where you feel that the bass could be bedding at, calm protected areas with gravelly bottoms or some type of a hard bottom, and just go about halfway back in the cove and just start working your way all the way to the back of the cove. Throw the Pede rig up to the bank in about 2 foot of water and work it out probably anywhere between, say, 3 to 10 foot of water, depending upon your clarity, and just slow down. I mean, that's the thing about it. This is you have to work it at a snail's pace to get a bite on it, because it takes a long time for it to settle. So for example, if you're working back in this cove and you're casting into 8 or 10 foot of water, it's probably going to take about 10 to 15 seconds to get that bait to the bottom. So be patient. You can't get in a hurry with this thing. You can't work the trolling motor too fast. If it's a little windy, make sure you throw with the wind so it'll sink more naturally. If you throw against the wind, it doesn't really sink right. Take your time as it gets down. Now, most of the time what happens is about probably 10% of the time, the fish will hit it on the way down. Maybe 20% of the time, but 80, 90% of the time, your strike is going to occur as soon as that Pede rig, I mean like as soon as it touches the bottom like that and you move it a little bit, that's when they grab it. So you can save some time, but once your line goes slack and it's on the bottom, all you have to do is work it maybe that far. If you don't get a bite after working it 3 or 4 feet, just reel it in and make another cast. It's all about that first initial bottom contact is when they get it, because in that clear water, when this Pede rig is falling like this, they can see it from a long way away, and they're swimming over to it to investigate, and they're looking at it as it falls like that. It hits the bottom, and then you twitch it, and they just come up and grab it. But guys, this is a Ozark staple. I've been using this here in the Ozarks, like I said, forever, and I've done really good all over the country. And I did real good at a Bassmaster tournament at the Trent Neuse River in North Carolina on it one time. Lake Lanier, Georgia, Lake Cumberland in Tennessee, Kentucky. I've caught them on Watts Bar, around not Watts Bar, but Lake Gunnersville around the docks on it, Lake Martin in Alabama. It's just worked about anywhere that I've been. Cypress trees, if you got shallow cypress, throw it around it. Really about anywhere that you throw a wacky rig. So anyway, guys, try it out, man. It's a good way to get tons of bites. I mean, don't be surprised. If you have a lake that has a decent bass population, you can catch 50, 75 fish a day on it. I have a lot of times at this time of year. So anyway, I hope it helps you guys out, and I'll check in later.